Perfect. Right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Today's workshop is on the Photos tool on Procore. The uploading of the photos doesn't seem to be a problem. Everybody's comfortable doing that. It's actually where the photos are being saved is where we think we can have a lot of improvements. When you upload a photo, you basically have 3 places you can save a photo, either into an album, into a location / QR code, or you can pin it to a drawing. So they're the 3 places that every photo that goes up should be located to one of those 3. There's an album on Procore called Unclassified. If you don't put it into an album or a location or onto the drawing, it'll go into this unclassified album. You want to keep this as low as possible, the number of photos in here. Now, a lot of the sites are the same. I just picked out Garda here for a second, Garda HQ. And there's about 4,500 photos roughly on this job, and you can see 1,500 of them are stored in here. So if you're looking for a photo in 2-3 years' time for some variations or something like that, it could take you quite a while to find those photos. I know Brian had a few issues before where I think it took him about 2 days to try and find one photo for a site. So the key thing here is just to make sure you're filing your photos correctly, organizing them correctly. It may not seem like much now, but trust me, if you're looking for it in a month's time, in a year's time, in 4 years' time, it'll be massively beneficial. So, like I said, there's 3 main places. You either create an album, which is simple enough. You just create an album here. And again, you can do this on the app as well. You just create an album and give it a name. Your albums can be called anything you want. It could be trade specific. It could be a house. It could be an apartment block. It could be a room. Whatever you want. It's just important that you name it correctly. We want to avoid naming them kind of after dates. Don't just call it, January 2024, July 2024, because we have a timeline version anyway, so we can find them that way. If you're putting it into an album, try and give it some kind of a trade name or give it a location name if you can. So as you can see here, you have 2 ways to view your photos. You have the album and you have the timeline. So the timeline just means the most recent photo that has been taken is up here in the top left-hand corner. You can do loads of things here. You can highlight each one. You can highlight a few of them. And what you could do is you could bulk edit if you wanted. So if you wanted to give them all a description, you could give them a description. Could be concrete or something. You can put them all into a location. So if you have locations set up, that's your QR codes. If you've those set up on your job, you could assign it to an exact location. If there was a trade, you could include a trade. You could put it into an album as well, if it's not already in an album. And then you just press update. So just handy little tricks and trades. So if you go up here and you type in something like concrete, you can see the ones that we're just after putting a description of concrete into. So it's a handy little way of being able to do it. You can also change that. You could put anything you want up here. Like I said, you could change to anything you want. It might be a room number or something like that. It could be room number 1. And again, that just changed it. In the comments section, you can send this to somebody. So if I wanted to send this to somebody, I could send it to somebody. So you could send that directly to Alan from there. There's another handy little thing there to be able to do. You can also download these onto your own file explorer. And what you can do as well, which is a really good one, is if you go into a selection of photos and you highlight a number of photos, what you can do is you can download them onto a PDF. Just click export, and you just say whether you want to put 1 on a page or you want to put all 4 on a page. And then what will happen is they'll turn out like this. A very, very useful way to be able to put a collection of photos together as well. Another thing is, obviously, it goes out saying you can never upload too many photos. There's no limit to the amount of photos you can create. There's no limit to the number of albums you can create. So feel free to put up as many as you want. Obviously, it doesn't just have to be site managers that can upload photos. Engineers can do it, project managers, students, health and safety. We can all upload photos. So don't just leave it to 1 or 2 people on site. Everybody has the ability to put up photos.
Connor, sorry for jumping in here. What's the easiest way of actually uploading them from your camera, or sorry, from your phone onto the system?
Yeah, so I was just going to go through that. We'll go through that now in a second. I'll just show you exactly how to do that. Absolutely. So yeah, what we'll do now as well is we'll just move over now to the iPad there. So basically, there's a few different ways you can upload them, and obviously to categorize them. So one of the first things that you could do is you could go straight into Photos, which is down here. So just click on Photos. What you can do then is you can create an album directly from your phone or your tablet. So you could create an album and call it Steps or something. You can then go into it, and what you can do then is you go into your folder, and the top right hand corner, just click the camera icon. When you click the camera icon, it'll say then that you can either select camera or choose from library. So open up your camera, take a picture. You can take as many as you want at a time. Once you have that done, then you can see up here, you can see the album that they've been saved into, called Steps. You can see that we have 3 photos taken down here. What you can also do is you can also pin it to an exact location. So one of those QR codes as well, if you have a QR code set up those locations, you can also put inside one in there. You press site compound, you just pick whatever location it is, and then you just press use up here. That's it, that's perfect. And then once you have that done, just press X in the top left hand corner. And that's it, they're saved inside that album and also in that location. So that's just one of the handy ways of doing it. As well as that, you can just open up, oops. What you can do as well is if you have those QR codes set up, what you can do is you can press the locations over here. And when you press the locations, if you have those QR codes set up on site, go over, you scan one of the QR codes. From there, you could see any snags or observations or incidents associated with it. And down here at the bottom, you can see all photos as well. Down there at the bottom. And if I wanted to add any photos to that, I just click down here, add photos. So if I click that, I can add any photos to that. Just make sure when you're doing that, there's a bit of a lag here behind the screen sharing as well. So after you take your photo, just make sure as well that the album is correct. So if you're putting them into a location directly, just make sure to also put them into an album as well. So you just put it into any album that you need to, and that's that done. And again, you can see all of them done here. Another one which is really good is you can use the drawings tool as well, and you can pin a photo directly to a drawing. So here what you'll see is you'll see a GA, we have it up here. You open it up. And from here, what you do is you click over here on this bottom one that says pin. And then you just click photo over here as well. So then what you do is you zoom in, because I'm half blind, and then you pick an exact location. So pick here, click photo. We'll just click an exact location. I'm just going to pick over here. And again, take photo. Just take any photo you want. Take as many as you want. And it pins it exactly to that location. You can see there, I have 3 photos taken. You press X. And again, you can see then the photos that were just after uploading. And that's in there. The key thing to this is just make sure as well to publish those photos. So there's a bit of a lag here now. Once you have the 3 photos taken, you can see there, just make sure to publish the photos as well. If you don't publish them, only I can see them. It'll be only on your own personal layer. So if Alan does it and Alan doesn't publish it, only Alan will be able to see it. So you just make sure then to just press publish down here in the bottom left, and then everybody's able to see it. But the great thing about this as well is once you have it pinned, you can add more photos on top of it as well. So you can go back into that, and on the top left, let's just take a second here. So you just click on it again, and up here you can click this add button. And with the add button, again, you can take more photos.
Show me.
A little bit of a lag here, guys. Sorry about that. Again, you just take your photo. Once you have that done, press the X in the top left-hand corner. And what you're doing with that then is you're layering more photos on top of photos. So it's very good for progress. So you could pin one exact pin to a room on a GA drawing. And from that, you could keep adding progress photos every couple of months on top of it. And because we've pressed publish once, it means that every new photo we do after that will be published as well. So we don't even need to press publish after we've done it the first time. And the great thing about this is, I think it's Rev 1 or Rev 2 or 3 we're on, I think. If a Rev 4 or 5 comes in, these photos will follow the new revisions as well, which is great. Once you have that done, you just press done, or what you can do as well is you can move the pin as well. You have the ability to move the pin. Generally, what you're doing is that you would only create one pin for one room. So you shouldn't really have 3 or 4 separate pins in one room. Try and just keep it at one pin in the room. Yeah, so that's basically kind of the gist of it all. Like I said, the pins are very good for progress. You can just pin it to one exact room on a GA drawing, and you can put more and more photos on top of it. Kind of the key takeaway kind of from today is we want to avoid putting photos into that album, that unclassified album, if we can. Which is you know yourself, if you're coming back in 2, 3, 4 years time trying to find a photo, the last thing you want to do is go into an unclassified album and see 2, 3, 4,000 photos, and you're looking for one photo. So when you're uploading a photo, you have one of three places to store it. You either put it into an album, which you can name after a trade or a house or an apartment or anything like that. You can use those locations or those QR codes. And the last thing is you could pin it onto a drawing. That's the best way to categorize your photos. It's like submittals, like RFIs. If you go into a submittal or an RFI or an incident, you can very easily see which one you're looking at. So just make sure whenever you're categorizing your photos and stuff, don't just lump them all up there. I know it can be easy. It's easy to do. I've done it myself. I'm not perfect. I have put them up that way as well. But this is the best way to do it. And like I said, you can name albums, anything. You could name it after your own position. You could have project manager or engineer's photos. At least they'll all be inside in there. So does anybody have any questions about that?
Just one, Connor, please. Everybody has access to drawings, the design team, subcontractors, ourselves. If we're putting up drawing progress photos or any photos up to the drawings themselves on a pin, does that mean everybody has access to those drawings?
No, only the admins for drawings people can see those pins. They're private by default.
Okay, so it's just fancy people see those pins.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Connor, say you're doing an inspection and you have the inspection like categorized to a location, say 1 Hazel Avenue. Will the photos automatically get uploaded into a folder, one or an album, 1 Hazel Avenue, or will it be categorized by location?
Is it from the inspection? Sorry, Jordan, is it?
Yeah, so say you're doing an inspection and you have it tagged to a location.
Yeah.
Will that photo go into the location if you're looking for it in the pictures? Yeah.
Yes, it will. It'll save into the location, and it'll also save into this one here called photos from inspections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So.
No bother. Any other questions there, lads or ladies? Under 20 minutes as well. I think we did well. I just want to say best of luck to Spain on Sunday in the Euros. I'm sure we'll all be shouting for
Yeah, nice one.
him. No bother. If that's all there, guys, thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Connor.
Cheers.
No,
Connor.
thanks.
Thanks,
No
Connor.
bother.
Thanks, Connor.
everyone.
Cheers, Connor. Thanks.
Thanks, Connor.
No bother. No bother.